So hello, and you are very welcome to functions, which is the topic that we're going to be looking at today. So today I'm going to give you a little introduction to what functions are. Let's have a look. What is a function? A function takes some input and sends it, or another word that we use is we say it maps it to an output. So a function takes an input and maps it to an output. Or actually it takes all the inputs from a set of inputs called a domain and sends each one of those to an output. Okay, that's a little confusing. Let's have a look at a picture. Okay, so here we have a picture of the domain. The domain is that red circle with the letters A, B, C, and D. Okay, so those are all the inputs, the set of inputs, which we'll call the domain. So the domain is A, B, C, and D. Each one of those is sent to an output. So the input A is sent to the output X, B is sent to Y, C is sent to Y, D is sent to Z. So each input is sent to an output. Okay, so what is a function? A function is that picture. It's a mapping from a set of inputs called a domain to a set of outputs, which is called a range, but we'll look at that later. So for the moment, we can describe a function. If we want to describe a function, we could draw a picture that describes it perfectly. But seeing as you're going to be typing your answers into a computer, it's going to be easier to write a set of couples. So to do that, we're going to put those curly brackets on the outside to say it's a set, and then all the couples go inside the set. So the couple is input, comma output 2, comma output 2, input 3, comma output 4, and so on. So how would I write that function? So first of all, I could draw the picture of the function that describes the function completely. Or I could, if I wanted to type it, I would use the curly brackets there, and I would type in A comma X, then B comma Y, then C comma Y, then D comma Z. So each input is mapped to an output. So you can see in the picture, A is mapped to X. In the couple that I've written at the bottom, A is connected to X. It's in brackets, A comma X. Okay, so each input is connected to an output. A function, again, is a mapping from inputs to outputs. We can describe it using the picture, or we can describe it as a set of couples like I've written down there. Okay, let's have a look at some example questions about functions. Here's the question I'm going to ask you. Given the domain 273 and the function 3 times this number plus 5 and the codomain, the integers, write the function in the form input, output, input, output, input, output, the set of couples. Okay, so like it's going to be 2 comma something, 7 comma something, 3 comma something, and you are to fill in the blanks. Okay, what is the domain 273? The domain, remember, is the set of inputs. So there's a picture of it, of the domain. That red circle is the domain. It contains the values 2, the value 7, and the value 3. The codomain is all the possible outputs. So in this picture we're showing 11, 26 and 14, but the dot 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 means every other number as well. Okay, so integers means all the positive and negative counting numbers, but I'm just showing that in the picture. But anyway, the function 3 times this number plus 5. So the function is completely described by those arrows from 2 to 11, 7 to 26 and 3 to 14. But we can also say what a function does. So sometimes a function actually does something, and in this question what it does is it takes the input, multiplies it by 3 and adds 5. So I said the function is 3 times the number plus 5. So let's have a look at the first number. What happens to it? 2. Well, 3 times this number is 6 plus 5 is 11. So the input 2 is mapped to the output 11 by the function, which is 3 times this number plus 5. Seems a little complicated. The function is just the mapping, so 2, 11, 7, 26, 3 and 14. So let's have a look at our answer. Our answer is the function 2, 11, 7, 26, 3, 14. And the easiest way for you to do that is you just copy and paste, copy out the part that I've given you and fill in the blanks. Okay, so all these questions are going to be very much the same. Just remember the domain is that red circle. It's those values, 2, 7 and 3. The function is what you do to those values. The function is described by what you do to those values, and what the function actually is the mapping from the input to the output, which is given by our answer there. Okay, have a go at those questions. You can practice them. You're just going to be copying and pasting and hopefully getting the numbers right. So the very best of luck to you.